Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Sorry, I know I'm fixing my hair. I just saw it. But I have to say, special shout out to the girls, because the girl curls, the puppy snakes, are right on target today. So they're behaving. Which means there must be no humidity in the air. It is Wednesday. Hump day! Hump day, hump day, hump day. Which means it is Self-Care Wednesday. And today, I have a few things today that we're going to talk about. But first, take care of yourself so you can shine your soul's light. Take care of yourself so you can shine your soul's light. I love the Sacred Self-Care Ritual deck. It is one of my favorites. I mean, look, self-care leads to wonderful sleep, right? I don't know, you can't really see it, I know. But she's in there. There you go. So, there you go. Anyways, let's just get rolling. And like I said, there's a few things I'm going to talk about. I got some affirmations for today, but I also wanted to read the definition of toxic positivity because I think it's important, because toxic positivity is kind of the fake it till you make it sort of thing. So, you know, that's not always a good thing. So let me see. We got 1, 2, third shuffle. Are we going to get anything else? Oh, wow. Okay, there's a lot. Careful what you wish for. Alrighty then, I'm going to turn these over so I can't see. Wow, there is a lot. Okay, let's see if we can blow right through these really quick. So, anyways, oops. I just lost the one thing. There it is. Alright. I have some things on my computer I want to read about. So, alright, let's get started with things you can do for your self-care. All right. Number 1, drink tea. Drink tea. I know not everybody is a tea fan. I love tea, iced and otherwise, and hot. But not everybody has that. But there's more to it than just that. Like if you go onto Amazon and you type in matcha set, right? They have like the nice Japanese tea service, or there's people that have the fancy tea services, or even the fancier tea services, which silver. I inherited an old silver tea service, and I know I gotta dig it out of storage and get that bad boy cleaned up. But tea can be so much more than that. But again, if you're not a tea fan, it's really about meditating over, like say an herbal tea, right? Maybe a green tea or a peppermint, lemon, ginger. Lemon ginger is actually pretty good, but my favorite's peppermint. But I like the regular, like the English breakfast and the Earl Greys and all that. But that's when it's when I'm not having coffee, or I need just a teeny skosh of caffeine. But drinking tea, it's if you look at her closely, it's a very meditative process, right? You're really kind of putting your thought into making this tea. You don't want to steep it too long because it might be too strong for you. Plus, you're kind of holding it, and you might, if it's a more floral tea or a green tea, or even a jasmine tea. Jasmine tea is really good. You'll have these things just kind of wafting into your senses, almost like a drinkable incense, right? And it's kind of, you're allowing this moment to kind of just take over you. And that's the whole point to me of them saying drink tea. It's about the process. It's about, having to really kind of focus in on something to make it just as you want it, to make it perfect the way you want it, whether you put things in it or not, and to just kind of lose yourself in that moment and find that kind of meditative place where you're just able to just kind of breathe, relax, and then, allow, connect with fire. All right. Now, I live in a state that has its own fire season. Take that as you will. Connect with fire safely, please, in a safe, fireproof container. Do not set fires anywhere. If you are camping, please be sure to put out your fires. I got to give disclaimers for this because, again, I live in Southern California. I live in California, but I live in Southern California. And hello, we have a fire season, and our fire seasons are getting longer. So, it never hurts when it rains. That's always a good thing, to keep everything moist, or the moisture in everything. But that doesn't prevent the wildfires. I mean, we've had some fires going on since the beginning of summer. But wildfire season is when they really kind of kick up. So, and that's usually towards the end of the summer after everything's been dried out by the summer sun. So, connect with fire, but do it safely. However, another way you can connect with fire, again, in a fire safe container, all right? Do not set your house on fire. Do not set anything on fire. If you're going to do this outside or over a barbecue and you're going to burn something, which I'm about to talk about in a second, please, please, please make sure it's not windy. That's how sometimes things get started. The wind picks up, even just a breeze can pick up enough to set something on fire, all right, if something nearby is flammable. So please, please, when you connect with fire, use extreme caution, okay? Use extreme caution. I've seen enough damage in this state to know that fire is beautiful, but can be very, 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 very dangerous, all right? So one of the ways you can connect with fire is you can write down whatever's bothering you. All right. Oh, now I got the pen in my hand, so that's not going to leave. You can write down whatever's bothering you. Read it over. Think about it. Write whatever you want, right? I mean, if you're worried that someone might see it in a journal later down the road, just write it on a piece of paper. Write everything out. You know, curse words, anger. You know, how you're feeling inside. Like, oh, you know, I just want to slap somebody or whatever. And you don't do this stuff in real life. All right. Just that's why you're writing it on a piece of paper. And then burn it, okay? And once the ashes are cooled, okay, let it sit for a bit. Once the ashes are cooled, you can throw it in the trash. You can throw it to the wind. You can throw it in water because it's going to dissipate anyways. You know, basically burning nature to get back to nature. So you're giving back to nature. But there's all different kinds of things that you can do with this, all right? But again, wait until it's cooled. Do not throw it, just throw it out because there are still embers in there. Believe it or not, paper can burn for a while, or whatever you might be using might be keeping it burning for a little while longer. So, and again, please, 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 I don't want my message to get lost in this plea for fire safe, you know, containers and to be, you know, have some common sense when you're using fire, but I feel like I have to. So anyways, that's one of my favorite rituals to do is a burning ritual. And, or, you know, if you want to send a message, right? If that's where your beliefs lie, you want to send a message out there, or you want to send protection out there or whatever, you can write all this down and burn it. And you can, you know, if it's something that you want for protection, you know, you can bury it where the sun is and then let it grow. Or if it's something that you're just trying to get out of you, right? Something super dark you don't like, bury it in a dark place. You know, I mean, if there's a part of your yard where, you know, the sun never hits, bury it there, you know, let it die there. Just, you know, send it off to the ether and let it go. All right. Make a meal. Now, just like the tea, making a meal can be very therapeutic, and it can be very kind of meditative, right? I mean, you're chopping the vegetables. Please be careful with the knife. I know, God, you know what, these first 3 cards just come, well, actually the second 2 cards come with so many don't do's, right? But you know, just putting that aside and, you know, giving everyone the benefit of the doubt of common sense. I know, I'm sorry, I don't mean that in a mean way. Because, you know, I say this because a lot of times we get in such a meditative state, we don't think. And, you know, here, that's how sometimes fires are started, because people have campfires and they're in the right place, but they don't put a net over it if it's windy, because they don't think it's going to get windy. And, you know, especially here, our weather can change. You know, I mean, you can get a slight breeze even on a still day. So, you know, but when it comes to making a meal, it can be very meditative. You know, you're cooking, you know, you're watching everything just go from one form to another form, you know, from that raw form to the cooked form. It's fun to watch. I mean, I like cooking and I like baking. It's fun to watch, but it can also be very meditative. It can, you know, I mean, again, because you're making that meal for yourself. And, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say make a healthy meal for yourself. You can make whatever kind of meal you want. If you want to make a salad and, you know, chop it up and put in all your lettuce and blah, 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 that's great. I was telling sibling yesterday that I was craving a strawberry spinach salad. I said, all I want is spinach leaves, strawberries, and a vinaigrette. and I just want, oh, and some walnuts, and I just want to go to town on that, you know. Oh, and maybe some feta. Okay, now it's becoming a salad. But yeah, but that was it, right? I mean, make your own. But it kind of, just thinking about it and thinking about making it and sprinkling the cheese on there really kind of just put me in sort of a meditative state. And it removes you from whatever it is, the anxieties of the day, right? So cooking can be very therapeutic and beneficial. So number 4, use your hands. Use your hands. If you like to create. You can journal, you can draw, you can color. I love to color. I am not an artist by any stretch of the imagination. In art class, I got an A+ simply for showing up and showing effort. So thank you, Mr. Davis. But that's right. I still remember my senior year art teacher. But you know what? I asked him, I said, why did I get an A? I said, and an A+. And he's all, because, you know, you were very supportive of other people's things. He's all, you showed up every day and you did your work. You did your assignments. And he's all, I don't grade on what something looks like. He's all, I grade on, you know, how much effort you're putting into it. And I did put effort into it. So that was my thing. But yeah, use your hands. I like to write on the computer or in my journals or in a book when I'm writing. Sometimes I write stories in a notebook. And I like to, you know, I wish I had the creativity to create things with my hands, like sculpting or glass blowing. And well, I know glass blowing, it really isn't with your hands, but you got to use your hands eventually, right? Or you got to use your hands to spin the thing while you're blowing it out. So, you know, but all these different things, you know, sculpting, drawing, again, painting, whatever it is that brings you joy, use your hands. Gardening, you're using your hands. Okay, burning bowl ritual. We talked about this with the connect with fire, so I'm going to skip that one, but I'll put it back with the fire one for when we do our recap. Look for fairies. Now, I know this might go out of some people's things. I don't want to lose anyone here, so this is just, it is the sacred self-care ritual deck. So for those of you that do believe in that, just look for them. Maybe you have the corner of your eye, you'll see like a, you know, even if it's a firefly, you never know. Right? I mean, maybe they're tiny little fairies, but you know, for the people who aren't into the metaphysical, fairies are also considered nature angels. So, you know, if you do, you know, fall into the religious aspect, think of them as nature angels, little tiny little angels that look after the pets, that look after the gardens and love to live outside because they love to be in nature, you know, so look for them, you know, and even if you don't see them directly, if you think about them and you think about the nature angels or the fairies or whatever you want to call them, don't attract the mean ones because they can be mean. They can be saucy. But, hey, you know what? I believe what I believe. But I do know a lot of people that do believe in the fae, and they believe a lot of them are just nasty and mean. I don't technically believe that. I believe, like humans, there are nasty ones and there are nice ones. And, you know, make nice with the nasty ones, right? Because, you know, you don't want them bothering you either. So, but if in the sense of angels, you know, I might love my angels. So, you know, just look for them, ask for their help. You know, you don't need to pray to them because they're not a deity, but you can ask them for their help. You can ask them to say, hey, you know what? I could really use maybe just some peace of mind or some whatever. Or, hey, you know what? You see that little flower pot over there? Could you help it out a little bit? Because, you know, I personally don't grow things. Brown thumb. So the next one, deep breathing. Breathe deep. Okay. Breathe. That can go with the whole meditative, you know, while you're cooking or making your tea, you know, you can bring in that meditative thing. You can, and they have practices. You can do the breathe into 4 and exhale to 8, which I really don't suggest unless you're more of an advanced, you know, meditative breather. I was going to say breather, but we all breathe, right? If you're more of a focused breathing type of thing. But as you learn, you can also do it backwards, right? You can do 8 to 8, you can do 6 to 8, and then you can do 4 to 8. And what it is it's just inhaling to the count of 4, exhaling to the count of 8, and just releasing all that stuff. You know, you're inhaling the good, exhaling the negative, exhaling the icky stuff. And that can bring a peace of mind. And sometimes when we have peace of mind, we get those peaceful solutions, or we get the solutions that we need. Sometimes when we get caught up in our own muck and our craziness and all the stuff happening around us, we can lose our path, and we can lose our sense of what needs to be done and the solutions that might actually be right in front of us. So, that happens to me a lot. Sometimes I get overwhelmed and it's like, oh. So the next one, look to the stars. Right? You don't have to feel sorry. You don't have to feel metaphysical about this one. Look to the stars. Sure, this one has astrology signs on it, and the sky and the moon. And a shooting star. There you go. You saw a shooting star today, so make your wish. And make it good, make it nice. I don't know who that was for, but just make it nice. But you have the moon cycles, and this is more of a metaphysical type of card, excuse me. You know what? There's a bigger wishing star. So there you go. You got two. You can make two wishes. This card is more metaphysically based, but truly, if you live in a place where you can see the stars, even if you live in a place where you can barely see the stars, look up to the night sky. All right. You got the moon out there when it's not a new moon, but you've got the moon out there. You've got what little stars you can see. Maybe it's just the brightest ones in the sky, which I think are planets from far, far away. I don't know. But just, lose yourself in that moment. Because one of the things that we learn when we look at the stars is we realize how small we are in a big, vast universe. And that doesn't mean our problems are small. That doesn't mean our life is small. Our problems can be big, but life should be bigger. And when we look to the stars, it too might help us, in that, like a deep breathing, it might help us move back in to being back in our center, so that we can find the path forward, so that we can find the solutions that are necessary for whatever it is happening at the time. And last but not least, use your intuition. All right. Everybody has an intuition. I don't care what your beliefs are. Everybody has an intuition. It's that spidey instinct that tells you whether you should do something or not do something, right? Whether it's as small as something is, maybe I shouldn't have that last drink. Or if it's as something as, maybe I shouldn't walk down that street or drive home that way because I'm just not feeling it today. When something persists in your mind, like, say you have two routes to work or home from work, and you're thinking, well, I always go this way. Sometimes I go that way, but I always go this way. But the other way keeps popping in your head. You might want to take it, because chances are it's very possible that it's keeping you out of something, or keeping you out of harm. But always use your instincts, use your spidey instincts. All right. Intuition, spidey instincts, whatever you want to call it. So there's that. Sorry, I keep losing what I want to talk about. So we have drink tea, connect with fire safely, burning bowl ritual safely, make a meal, use your hands, look for fairies, deep breathing. Oh, sorry, that's a huff. Look at the stars, or look to the stars, and intuition. All right, so we have those are really good ones for today, I think, especially, just some self-care tips. So the next thing I want to talk about is toxic positivity. And so, actually, you know what? I changed my mind. I think that'll be tomorrow's topic. All right, let's keep it positive today. And no, that's not moving into the area of toxic positivity. I think toxic positivity needs a little bit more than just, one and done. All right, so we'll talk about that tomorrow, because I know I have a lot of past experiences that can go with that one. So, and I don't reflect well in many of them. So, I just want people to know that when you watch this show, I am very aware of my flaws, past, present, and probably future, right? And I work on them every day. But my past flaws, they could be some doozies. So, I don't want people that might be new to this show to think that, oh yeah, well, I know everything. I don't know everything. This is my perspective. This is my journey. And I'm sharing what I've learned on my journey, hoping it will help somebody else. because a lot of people did that. I saw a lot of people's different stories, and they helped me on my journey. They helped me move forward in ways that I didn't realize I could move forward. And sometimes that is what is so important, is just knowing that you don't feel alone. And maybe not everything will resonate, you know. Take what resonates with you. I saw that on a post yesterday. Take what resonates with you. And I want to figure out how to incorporate that into the beginning of my show so that I can say, hey, you may not vibe with everything that I talk about, but, you know, take what resonates. Because, you know, you could read, well, you know, I do Oracle Fridays. So you could open a thing for Oracle Friday and you could read a whole maybe three paragraphs. And one line out of that whole paragraph may be what resonates. So just take what resonates with you, okay? So, okay, I know I say that a lot, you know, and okay. All right, so let's move on to turn negativity into positivity. I know I lost my thought there for a second. All right. So, what I'm about to read, it's on my screensaver, or not my screensaver, but it's on my wallpaper on my computer. And so it cycles through, but it always seems to cycle through when I need it the most. When I'm feeling like, you know, or I'm feeling like, you know, I should be in a different place or whatever, you know. So I'm going to read these and then we're going to talk about them. Well, I'm going to talk about them. But again, take what resonates, okay? So, turn negativity into positivity. Okay, so here's the negativity, okay? I can't do it equals, and this is what you should say for positivity. I haven't mastered it yet, but with practice and determination, I'll get there. This is too hard. It's a challenge, but challenges bring growth and learning opportunities. I'm not good enough. I am enough, and I'm continually growing and improving. Each step counts. Okay, I forgot the period there. I'm continually growing and improving. Each step counts. I'm a failure. I may face challenges, but I'm resilient. Failures are opportunities, to learn and grow. I always mess up. Mistakes happen, and they're stepping stones to improvement. What can I learn from this? I'll never succeed. I'll never be successful. Success is a journey, and I'm making progress every day. Small steps lead to big achievements. So, okay, so this is kind of funny. So the picture itself is it's very light, and the light is reflecting off my glasses. So if I'm stumbling on there, it's because it's like kind of like, oh, I can't really see it. So I know, but you know, I need light. So anyways, let's start with number 1. I can't do it. I haven't mastered it yet, but with my goodness, I can't do it. I haven't mastered it yet, but with practice and determination, I'll get there. A lot of times when I stumble over myself, it's because it's something I know I need to hear, and something that I don't really think about, because it's something I should really think about, to be honest with you. But when we say I can't do it, a lot of times we'll say that, right? Like, I've been putting off exercising for so long, I blame my weight because, you know, it's too hard, or blah, blah, blah. Then I see videos of people who are, you know, heavier than myself, or more plus size. I'm sorry, I don't want to stigmatize that. More plus size than myself, just killing it, right? They're killing it. And I'm like, okay, what's your real excuse? Are you afraid? You know, and sometimes I'll use my heart as an excuse. Yeah, we can do movement without my heart exploding. So what I have learned for myself, me, myself, and I, is that every time I said I can't do it, I had to push myself. Last night I couldn't sleep, so I got to bed late. And I was trying, but I don't know, I was so amped up from the day, and I'm not really sure why, and it was fine. But usually I need about 6 or 7 hours of sleep. Turns out I only needed 6 last night. But last night I had determined I'm going to wake up 10 minutes later, and I'm going to do a different exercise today, because the one yesterday, you know, it was hard and I wasn't sure if I could do it. So, you know, and let me just put it this way. I don't want to, it's hard. If you're too tired to work out, just do something light, okay? But still get that movement in. However, I was like, no, I'm just going to do push-ups today. Okay, push-ups. Now, I still do the knee push-ups. I do the girl ones. Well, girl ones. I do the easy ones, all right? I want to say girl ones because my cousin is killing it. She's doing 40 push-ups in 40 days and she does not use her knees. I think she's only used it twice when she's been tired, and I've been proud of her because she's listening to her body, but she's still getting it done. And that's what we need to do, right? So, that being said, this morning I woke up with the I can't do it attitude. I ended up doing it. I did the same exercises I did yesterday, but because I had hurt my ankle a little bit, or I hurt my ankle in previous exercise, which is why I changed the exercise that I started yesterday. And I just removed one thing that would have, hurt that. And I did everything. And I actually did more for each one because I knew I was taking one thing out. But I still did my push-ups because I'm like, well, I don't know if I have the strength to do the push-ups. I don't care. I did it. I started out with 10 a few weeks ago. I moved up to 15 and now I'm at 20. And I almost stopped at 10 today and I thought, no. I said, you've made it up to 20, so just keep going. Don't tell yourself you can't do something. Because right here, I haven't mastered it yet, but with practice and determination, I'll get there. I'm already noticing the difference in how I'm feeling. I'm noticing the strength in my arms. I mean, I'm kind of the muscle in this house anyways. Because of older siblings dinged wings. So I have always carried all the heavy stuff anyway. But I can feel the muscles changing, not just carrying groceries and stuff from the car into the house. It's changing in the way where more is being worked out. So, certain muscles aren't having to do all the work themselves. But the thing is, this morning I woke up, I can't do it. And maybe I don't want to. But then my exercise alarm went off and I have a lot of alarms. And I thought, all right, well, I'm going to clean the cat box and then I got to go do my exercises. And like I said, I initially intended to half-ass it this morning and I full-assed it this morning. So, when you take those baby steps, don't worry how small you think the win is. If you did it, it's a win. Not big, not small, it's a win. All right? If you were trying for 10 push-ups and you were able to do 25 without thinking about it, that's a big win. Because you're not necessarily pushing yourself to hurt yourself, but you're saying, hey, what is my body capable of? Our bodies are amazing. Our bodies are absolutely amazing. It doesn't matter whether you're thick or thin, our bodies are amazing. I know people who are a bit more plus size than me that are super flexible, can touch their toes. I can't even touch my toes. So let's not judge other people, okay? Because it doesn't matter what size anyone is. Everybody brings something beautiful to the table. And for me, it's just about getting myself healthy and back into a state where I know I can keep my heart going for a long, 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 long time. And that's the goal. So this is too hard. I refer back to I can't do it. It's a challenge, but challenges bring growth and learning opportunities. When baby sibling said that she was going to start her 40 days in, I know, I called her my younger cousin, but she is my younger cousin, but she's like my little sister too. I got siblings spread out all over the place. So baby sibling or cousin siblings. I am an only child. But when you say this is too hard, it's a challenge, but challenges bring growth and learning opportunities. When she first said she was going to do that, I told her, I can't do 40, and I certainly can't do them the way you do them. Like a military dude, or woman. Well, military person, I should say. I know. See, this is conditioning over the, from my youth. But a military person, right? They do the toe push-ups, and it's like, no. Doesn't matter. She'll do 10, do 5. Just, do one. And so I told her, I said, well, I did 10, but I did them with my knees. I was on my knees instead. She's like, that's okay, because you did them. And that's the kind of positivity we need from people. We don't need someone saying, well, you should have done it this way. No, because then you're going to, if the person hurts themselves or they're not capable of doing it, they're going to feel inadequate and they're going to give up. But when we encourage people and say, hey, you moved, I told baby sibling yesterday, I said, yeah, the new exercises I'm doing, they're a bit of a challenge because it's like, I'm all crap. How do I get off the floor? Because I was in a position where normally I can get on my knees and get up because, again, I'm not super tiny. So I have to get on my knees to get up. And I thought, what am I going to do? But then I figured it out. And all she said to me was, I laughed because it was kind of funny. Watching my cat watching me try to get up off the floor was rather comedic. But All she said to me was, but you did it. And that was all I needed to hear to stop punishing myself, or to stop, guilting myself and shaming myself. Shame ain't gonna get you nowhere. All right. I'm not good enough. That is one of my favorite sayings. I am not good enough. But I am not good enough equals I am enough, and I'm continually growing and improving. Each step counts. So about a month or so ago, a friend of mine, actually probably at the beginning of summer, a Facebook friend of mine sent me a thing that says, you know what? Because I was struggling. I was still in therapy at the time, but I was struggling with trying to remove myself from therapy and to show myself that I can do this and I can do it on my own. But again, my identity was kind of stuck in the ether. It was just, I'm still not sure I know what my identity is. I'm still not sure what I know what my purpose is, or in what direction I'm supposed to be going. I know I'm supposed to be doing this show. It is something that I felt very strongly about. I've had dreams about. I've talked to my therapist. She thinks it's, before I was graduated from therapy, even she likes the idea of me continuing this. She was very proud of me for saying that I was going to start it back up soon. And one of the things I learned when I thought I'm not good enough was, my friend said to me, she said, I look at myself in the mirror and say this: I'm not sure who you are right now, but I love you anyway. I'm not sure who I am right now, but I love me anyway. Or actually, I love you anyway. And look yourself in the eyes in the mirror when you say that. And it was helpful. And I don't always say it in the morning, but I do try to remind myself that, hey, you know what? I am doing, as older sibling would say, the best I can every day. And there are days that I know I can do better. There are days when I know I'm just kind of half-assing it and I need to do better. But, I give myself grace on those days. And I know I need to be better at giving other people grace, because I do believe that we have more in us than we allow on certain days. But I do try to pick myself up on my bootstraps the next day and get moving. But I am learning that I am good enough, that I am enough. And the one person you need to be enough for is you. Not anybody else, you. Don't show up just for other people. Show up for yourself first. Because when you show up for yourself first, you're going to start exuding this light and this energy and this positive, feeling, even on the bad days, right? Have you ever been I remember when I was still working in an office and people would come by and I was just really focused, and it's like, are you okay? Because you look mad. But then there were other days when they'd come by and I'd be like, no, it's just my resting bitch face. And there were other times when they would come by and they could just see the look on my face and they're all, are you okay? And it's like, oh, I'm not having the greatest day. And they would hug me. They would give me a hug. They're like, well, do you want a hug? It's like, yes, please. I really need a hug right now. Even the person in the office that didn't give hugs would give me a hug, because we exude a certain energy. And when you do that, people aren't drawn to what you're presenting on the outside. They're drawn to what you're giving from the inside. And when you feel like you're enough, God, you feel like a gazillion bucks. Even on those bad days. And we're going to have bad days, okay? So, I'm a failure. I may face challenges, but I'm resilient. Failures and opportunities. Wait. Someone's having problems today. I'm a failure equals I may face challenges, but I'm resilient. Failures are opportunities to learn and grow. So, do we ever really fail? How many times have we thought we failed and it led us to something better? Right? Maybe it's just the turning point. Maybe when we ignore something long enough that's slapping us upside the face, our guides or your higher power or whatever kind of sit there and they put the kibosh on you. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's a failure. What it's happening is you're being redirected, right? If you make a wrong turn, or, say you have your GPS on and you're not paying attention, your favorite song comes on and you're like, yeah, la, la, la. And all of a sudden you miss your turn and you're like, oh, you don't think you're a failure, right? No, you're waiting for your GPS to say reroute or rerouting, right? So Why do we sit there when we make a mistake and get so hard on ourselves? You're rerouting. It's as simple as that. You're rerouting. All you're doing is saying, oh, whoops, I missed that turn. But hey, you know what? I can either make a U-turn or, I could do it the hard way and follow all the bazillions of streets this GPS is going to send you down. But it's all you have to do is you can make a U-turn if it's somewhere you absolutely need to be in driving, of course. If it's something that doesn't feel comfortable, maybe you missed that turn on purpose. Maybe you really didn't want to go down that road. Now we're speaking metaphorically, of course. So just, imagine yourself rerouting. It's like, okay, well, maybe I'm going to go in this direction instead. I always mess up equals mistakes happen and they're stepping stones to improvement. What can I learn from this? I feel like I just covered that with I'm a failure. So I think I always mess up and I'm a failure are just, they're kind of the same thing, but I think someone's trying to drive the point home here, right? If you make a mistake, it's a stepping stone and a learning opportunity to something to the next thing. Even if the next thing is just an improved version of the last thing. Set your boundaries, give yourself some grace, give yourself some peace. If you have to make a U-turn, make a U-turn. But, or reroute in the direction that you feel you need to reroute into. When I was first laid off from my job, I never imagined this would be a thing. I mean, I have some old shows that I just called Random Ramblings because it was just me kind of trying to find something. But again, as I started on my healing journey and as COVID hit and we were in the throes of lockdown and everything, I found a part of me that needed to heal. And, I started talking about it on a Random Ramblings and it became something. And I wanted it to be more. So then I started with the cards and I went through every single card. I shuffled it, went through the first one, and then every single card after that. And it wasn't a mistake. I wasn't a failure. I didn't mess up. I was just rerouting. And then that last one, I'll never be successful, equals success is a journey and I'm making progress every day. Small steps lead to big achievements. In no way in my mind am I actually clear on the fact that this will ever be successful, this show, this Aloha Perspective. But that doesn't mean I stop. That means I keep going. And when we keep going, that is the success. If something bigger comes out of it, great. If something bigger doesn't come out of it, okay. Because I'm still helping a group of people. I'm still helping a handful of people. And, that's what's important to me. Success isn't always measured by how much money we have in the bank or how big our house is. Success is measured by the fact that we're still here and still persevering. It is a journey. Sure, some people might want the fancy cars or the big house or the money in the bank. Who doesn't want the money extra in the bank, right? I mean, we could all use some money in the bank. Well, maybe not all of us, but, there's nothing wrong with having that comfort, that pillow so you don't have to worry about anything. But when we try so hard to achieve that, sometimes we miss the journey because we're thinking too much about what we're aiming for as opposed to the journey to get there. If you're trying to gratitude wonderful things into your life, you have to let go of that worry as hard as it is. I don't know how I managed to get that sentence out. As hard as it is. You have to focus. You have to trust and believe. And that's not being toxic. That is believing that you deserve better, that you are enough, that, you are not a failure, that you did not mess up. Life hands us things to teach us. And we have to figure out what it is, if something's not working out, what it is trying to teach us. What can we do differently to change the outcome of what we're heading for so that we get there? Instead of just continuing on this journey, this long, long journey. Do you need to let go of something? Do you need to figure out how to be more positive? Are you a positive person, but deep down subconsciously, you struggle with doubt and trusting and believing? Well, believing is not always a hard part. Trusting in that belief is the hard part. Not doubting that it's going to happen is the hard part. Not worrying about it, that it's going to happen is the hard part. So, doubting and worrying, that's a big no-no, but we all do it. So we have to trust. We may believe in something, but you have to trust in it as well. Because if you do not, it is going to stay right in front of you and you're going to keep chasing it like that donkey chases the carrot on the string. Okay, so let's do this one more time. I can't do it. Equals, I haven't mastered it yet, but with practice and determination, I'll get there. This is too hard. Equals, it's a challenge, but challenges bring growth and learning opportunities. I'm not good enough. Equals, I am enough. Repeat that in the mirror. I am enough. And I'm continually growing and improving. Each step counts. Number 4, I'm a failure. I may face challenges, but I'm resilient. Failures are opportunities to learn and grow. I always mess up. Equals, mistakes happen and they're stepping stones to improvement. What can I learn from this? And the last one, I'll never be successful. Equals, success is a journey and I'm making progress every day. Small steps lead to big achievements. Do not give up on yourself. Do not give up on your dreams. Do not give up on, whatever it is that's on your journey that you might be heading for, even if you don't know what you're aiming for. The success is showing up for yourself every single day. In the face of failures, there are no failures. There are no mistakes. Everything happens for a reason. I know some people hate that term because a lot of times we can't deal with the fact that some things do happen for a reason, but you are not a failure. If you made a mistake, reroute. All right. A mistake does not make you a failure. A mistake means, oops, my bad. Let me get that eraser and erase it. Or let me, follow the GPS as I reroute. Let me take a step back and see what I need to do to, head in the right direction, right? So, you don't always mess up. You may think you always mess up, but you don't always mess up. Okay? We're all going to have these moments in our lives where things don't work out perfectly. That's being human. Okay? If you are not a human, maybe you don't make a mistake. All right? But we all make mistakes. And that doesn't make us a failure. It makes us human. All right. So just reroute and find the new path or the right path or get back on the path. And success. Do not measure your success by what other people have. Your success, for me, at one point, success was getting up out of bed. Okay. Because my depression got that bad. I spiraled that hard. And yes, I'm on antidepressants. And even those weren't working. My doctor had upped me to a higher dose and it helped a little and it helped me get back out of bed. And now I'm back to the dose where I was before because I managed it. I needed a little bit of help. I needed, sibling encouraged me every day. Baby sibling, my dad, how are you doing? Bro from another Mo, who was also keeping me honest with my exercises because I don't want to answer to him every day. And I know I'm going to have to if he randomly asks me, did you do your exercises today? And I can't say no. But because we share our exercises, he's going to know if I do or not. And I know that if he doesn't see me logging a workout, he's going to ask. And then he's going to make me do it. So find the people that care about you. Find the people who will stand up for you. All right. Find the people who will lift you. Maybe you're carrying the world on your shoulders. And if you feel like you're carrying the world on your shoulders, find the people that will listen. Journal it out. I love journaling. I came up with some really good stuff the other night that was so amazing. Excuse me. I don't know what is happening with me today. But yeah, just give yourself some grace. That's the biggest thing that we can do with self-care. Self-care is self-compassion. It's self-love. It's giving yourself grace. It's removing the shame. This whole thing turning negativity into positivity. It's removing the shame. And most times, we might be stigmatized by other people. But you know what? When we start believing what they're saying, we're stigmatizing ourselves. Do not be your own worst enemy. Okay, I've been my worst enemy for far too many years. And, I am a class A self-sabotager, a class A procrastinator, and a class A self-shamer. And I don't want to be that person anymore. Because I see what I offer to this world. And we all offer something beautiful to this world. Every single one of us. Every single one of us that wants to put something good even into one person's life. Even into our own life. If you got yourself out of bed today, good for you. If you got yourself dressed, if you're feeling like you're in a spiral, double good for you. Because sometimes that can take so much energy if you have a dinged up mental health. If you're a person who doesn't have a dinged up mental health, you got up, went to work, had your coffee, good for you. And I'm not saying any of this facetiously. I'm saying this because, hey, you know what? We all have those days where we just are kind of like, the meh days, right? The oof. We have the oof days where it's like, ooh. So, if you're breathing, I'm proud of you. Truly. Because, you know what? Like I said, some days are harder than others. But we're human. We're going to go through things. And how we react to them, you know, is kind of a projection of how the day might go. So try to just take a deep breath. All right. Drink that tea. Take that deep breath. Look at the stars at night. You know, just lose yourself in the sky for a little bit. All right. So I know, sorry, I got to work on the all rights, you knows, and okays. They're my filler words, and they're annoying me. All right, so if they're annoying you, just know they're annoying me. And if I just pointed it out and now they're going to annoy you, I'm very sorry. So have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day today. It is Self-Care Wednesday, so please, please, please take care of yourselves. The reason I keep it in the middle of the week is because most people's work weeks are Monday through Friday, so it's kind of, it breaks it up, right? You've had 2 good days. Let's keep it going into the weekend. I do start these at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time on Facebook Live under Shelly Marie Lucas. If you want to follow the Aloha Perspective on Facebook, you're more than welcome to. You can also follow the Aloha Perspective on YouTube, where I do post these after the lives are done. And I do share them to TikTok, and I share them to Twitter. And still haven't figured out how to share it to Instagram, so I may just have to make short ones for that one. So anyways, again, have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.